Hello everybody, welcome back to the Jeremy Apiary. It's hive inspection time. We're going to do the first inspection for the only hive we have left right now before we get our new bees in a couple of weeks. It's 82 degrees despite having snow just a week ago up here in upstate New York, and we want to see what's going on inside of that hive. It's going to be interesting because I haven't taken a look at all this year, and hopefully they're doing well. I see them moving in and out, and we'll see what we find.
Chickens just love this area for doing their dirt baths.
As I haven't been in this hive yet this year, it was time to crack her open and remove some of the winterization insulation I had placed in there and just see how everything fared. And you're going to sense a recurring theme. These chickens just would not leave it alone today. They must have really thought there were some kind of awesome treats in there for them, but yeah, alas, not. So after removing my helpers a few more times, I was able to get to it here. First step was taking the false back off and scraping some of the propolis away, of which there was a decent amount. You can see there's a little bit of moisture that was on that side of the hive at some point in the winter. They are already doing what I would guess is probably new stores, which is surprising that they're already doing that, way in the back of the hive. Moving through the hive, there was definitely some nice examples of storage with pollen and nectar and everything coming in, so it does appear that they're already able to gather a decent amount of resources despite the way the crazy weather has been. The 8th frame from the front of the hive already had drone brood on it, and clearly it appears they are getting ready for spring big time since they are already putting out that much drone. The next frame up had a fair amount of worker cells that were capped, which is nice to see. On the back of it, something else, or at least someone else.
The queen right there.
It appears my little white dot I put on my queen last year after the swarm did actually stay. Moving right along, we had more brood on the next frame. But also something else. Those are swarm cells. Yeah, looks like we have swarm cells and they're making new queens, so this is a hive ready to swarm already this year. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised because this was about the time that it swarmed last year. This next one also had swarm cells and even had a capped queen cell, so they're definitely ready to go. The next couple of frames were just storage frames. As a result of seeing what I saw, I thought, okay, I'm going to probably need to do a split on this hive. I've never done a split before. This is the time of year that they swarmed last year.
Queen right there, so I know I don't take her by accident.
And you definitely want to positively identify your queen and not take her by accident if you have queen cells like this. It's not the end of the world. They could try to make new queens, but ideally you would just remove the queen cell frames and then leave the queen behind. All told, I took 2 frames that had brood on them that also had queen cells, and also I took over 2 storage frames.
Over here, what we left is storage, brood, extra frame, storage, extra frame, I believe. So this is empty frame, empty frame. That's just some storage. This is a mostly empty frame. Idea to give them room to expand. This is brood. This is brood. Empty frame and storage. And a chicken. So, we will see how this goes. No. Nope. You drive me crazy, chicken.
I did open the hive back up because there were so many queen cells I decided to knock off a couple of them in order to have less competition, especially since one of the queen cells were capped.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. My first time doing a split. It is going to get cold in a few days again, but I had to seize the opportunity because they already have swarm cells and one of them is already capped. They are active swarm cells. There were larvae in there. I had to try to do something. We'll see how it goes. It's okay if your bees swarm. That's really not what I'm trying to do here. I was just trying to take the opportunity to increase my number of hives due to the dead off that I had here over the winter, while at the same time maybe preventing the swarm in the process. Swarms are healthy, swarms are natural, especially if it's the right time of the year for it, so that they can still repopulate and rebuild their hives. This is the time of the year for that. It also gives a little bit of a brood break and possibly can help with mite control. There's a lot of other things that people say, but either way, it's my first time trying to do split. We'll see what happens. I did try to keep hive 1, or the hive with the bee on it, a little bit stronger. That way, because it's got the main queen in there and everything's going well, at least have one hive that's a little bit stronger overall. And we'll take the hit with the experiment going on with the split. I have 3 package of bees coming. The packages will be for the flow hive, hive 3, or the horse hive as I'm going to call it now, and also for the cathedral hive. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And we'll see you next time here at the Jerby Apiary.